जया शंकरा भावगोचरा शिव चिदंबरा ओंकारा
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 प्रतिविहारा पाप विदूरा
प्रतिविहारा पाप विदूरा प्रतिविहारा पाप विदूरा
जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा
जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा
जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा
जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा
जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा
जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा
जया शंकरा भावगोचरा शिव चिदंबरा ओंकारा
जया शंकरा भावगोचरा शिव चिदंबरा ओंकारा
प्रतिविहारा पाप विदूरा
प्रतिविहारा पाप विदूरा
जगदोद्धारा ब्रह्मपरा
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 जया शंकरा भावगोचरा शिव चिदंबरा ओंकारा
सीतारामा श्री रघुरामा सीता
ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
ईश्वर प्रेम है,
प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है,
ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
हर धड़कन में साई समा है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
राम रही कृष्ण करी,
राम रही कृष्ण करी,
बोलो राम रही कृष्ण करी।
राम रही कृष्ण करी।
ज़ोराष्ट्र येसु नानक,
सौराष्ट्र येसु नानक,
ज़ोराष्ट्र येसु नानक,
सौराष्ट्र येसु नानक।
कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
मनवा कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
कोई भी नाम जपो रे मनवा, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है।
Invoking the blessings of the divine and offering our pranams to Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, dignitaries, guests and delegates, esteemed doctors, good evening and welcome to the inaugural session of the first Pediatric Valve Repairs Conference 2024 presented by Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. We extend a hearty welcome to the guests on the dais. Our chief guest, Dr. K.M. Cherian, world-renowned cardiac surgeon, chairperson and CEO, Frontier Lifeline Hospital, Chennai. The guest of honor, Dr. Minu Bajpai, head of department, AIIMS, New Delhi, vice president and honorary executive director, National Board of Examinations in Medical Sciences.
Professor Kalangos, director of Congenital Heart and Tracheal Diseases, Euroclinic Hospital, Athens, Greece. Shri B.N. Narasimhamurthy, Chancellor, Shri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence.
Dr. A.R. Raghupati, Director, Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. Dr. C.S. Hiremat, Director, Heart Valve Bank, Academics and Research, Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. And Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, Social and Spiritual Leader, who is spearheading service projects in the verticals of nutrition, education and healthcare.
We now request the dignitaries to light the ceremonial lamp for an auspicious commencement of the program.
We will begin with invocation by girl students of the Vedic Studies program. They will chant verses from the Shraddha Suktam.
श्रद्धा मध्यन्दिनं परि श्रद्धागुं सूर्यस्य निमृचि श्रद्धे श्रद्धापयेहमा श्रद्धा देवानधिवस्ते श्रद्धा विश्वमिदं जगत् श्रद्धां कामस्य मातरम् हविषा वर्धयामसि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।
Nutrition, education and healthcare are the fundamental rights of every human being, believes Sadguru. And therefore, over the last decade, he has been striving to make these accessible and affordable, particularly to those in rural areas. Congenital heart defects continue to be the leading cause for infant mortality, especially in India, with over 2.5 lakh cases every year.
The chain of hospitals under Sadhguru's healthcare mission address the entire spectrum of healthcare, including screening, prevention, cure, education, and research. Most importantly, these hospitals are dedicated to making quality healthcare available to all by providing all services totally free of cost. These hospitals, including the Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Centers for Child Heart Care, have till date conducted over 32,000 pediatric cardiac surgeries and cath interventions totally free of cost for children from all states of India.
All our training programs, right from MBBS, DNB, nursing and paramedical courses, are all also offered completely free of cost to empower the next generation and contribute towards capacity building of the nation. And this conference is yet another step towards realizing this vision. We will now have a short video on the global mission spearheaded by Sadguru in the verticals of nutrition, healthcare and education. Can we have the video, please?
One World, One Family. The Sri Madhusudan Sai Global Humanitarian Mission. Several institutions of public service have been established in just the last 12 years, touching and transforming the lives of millions of individuals across 60 countries, with its epicenter in India. Nutrition, education, and healthcare are fundamental rights of every human being and every child, and it is the collective responsibility of the society to ensure that these basic needs are made accessible and available for all without any discrimination and absolutely free of cost. Let no child go to school hungry ever, is the motto of the Annapurna Morning Nutrition Program, which started in the year 2012. Today, healthy morning nutrition in the form of cooked breakfast or through the Sai Sure multi-nutrient supplement to over 10 million school-going children across 25 states and 4 union territories in India and 5 countries overseas. In the field of education, this mission has established about 28 educational campuses in India and 1 campus overseas bestow values-based education completely free of cost to over 3,600 children from the rural strata of society from grade 6 right up till doctoral studies. The Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, which is the higher educational wing, has established India's first free private rural medical college, Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, on the 25th March 2023, and it was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. The university celebrated its second convocation on 3rd July 2023. Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the Honorable President of India, presided over the convocation and gave away gold medals to 17 students and conferred honorary doctorates to 5 eminent individuals. People Shores, an impact sourcing organization in the US, offers livelihood programs that upskill youth from rural and marginalized communities. This helps break generational cycles of poverty. On the healthcare vertical, over 31,000 pediatric heart surgeries and cath interventions have been done since inception in 2012 through 5 super specialty heart care hospitals in India, the Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Centers for Child Heart Care at Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Maharashtra, Telangana and Karnataka, and 2 such hospitals in Fiji and Sri Lanka. It is the world's largest chain of pediatric cardiac hospitals without billing counters. 5 specialized Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Mother and Child Hospitals, 18 Sai Swasthya Primary Care Wellness Centers, Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Vahini Mobile Hospital Services, Aruike Multi-Specialty Hospitals in Nigeria, Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Medical Center at Clarksdale in the Mississippi State of USA, 2 multi-specialty hospitals, Sri Sathya Sai Sarla Memorial Hospital in Karnataka, and Sai Arogya Multi-Specialty Hospital at Kuchipudi, Andhra Pradesh, are providing services completely free of cost to the needy. So far, these healthcare services have provided outpatient consultations to over 2.2 million patients. On the whole, over 400,000 women, 350,000 children, and 196,000 elderly have benefited from these free medical services. Over 40% of these patients live below the poverty line. Every individual's prosperity depends on society's collective prosperity. After all, we are all one connected whole.
We now request Dr. C.S. Herimat, Secretary of the Conference, to make the introductory remarks. With a prolific career of more than 25 years in cardiac surgery, he is a renowned surgeon who has championed numerous training initiatives at prestigious medical institutions, including the Sathya Sai Healthcare Institutions. Dr. C.S. Herimat.
Offering my reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Good evening, Sai Ram to one and all. I cordially invite you to the first international conference on pediatric heart valve repairs to foster collaborative thinking where that will improve our workspace with efficiency through in-depth learning. Repair of a valve is always better than replacement. When our duty becomes worship, we begin to get involved without expectation, and thus we begin our journey to evolve as a better professional. On this journey, as we mark each day with dedicated duty, which is backed with respect and care, then rest assured, a positive environment for healing begins to take shape that shall have a long-lasting impression on patient's recovery. This step to align with patient understanding through compassion and to provide free medical services to overcome financial hurdles is what Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai has lovingly provided to the society at large. We are indeed blessed to have your presence with us today, Sadguru. I welcome the dignitaries on the dais, Dr. K.M. Cherian, who is considered as the father of Indian cardiac surgery, has taken pains to come all the way from Chennai. And for students here, he is the first generation of cardiac surgeons in the country. He is 84 years, sitting amongst us today, came driving down from Chennai with us. And we have 4 generations of cardiac surgeons sitting here amongst us today in this hall. I welcome Dr. Minu, the Executive Director of National Board of Examinations, with a short call was here with us amongst us. And Dr. A. Kalangos, the Master Pediatric Cardiac Surgeon from Greece. He has invented a ring called as Kalangos ring, which is an absorbable ring that really makes an impact on the child's welfare. I also welcome Dr. Sri Narasimhamurthy, Chancellor, and Dr. Raghupati, our Director, for this program. There are many senior other delegates sitting here amongst us. To mention a few, Dr. Krishna S. Iyer, Dr. Suresh Rao, and many others who have come all the way from different parts of India. We welcome you all, sir. This two-day comprehensive program We'll focus on all aspects of heart valve repair in pediatric patients, including anatomy understanding of the valve structures, diagnosis, imaging, surgical and non-surgical management, including the technical aspects of timing of treatment with special emphasis on complex anatomy and patient settings. Today, as we assemble under the umbrella of rendering quality medical services, I would like to make a note of gratitude. Dear colleagues, leadership is not a position or a title. It is an action and example. Our respected Sadguru, through compassion in duty, has provided his vision of one world, one family through his selfless contributions to the medical world by providing free medical services to the needy. We started this surgical program about 2 days back. Dr. Kalangos was kind enough to come and spend 2 days with us in the operation theatres. And I happened to assist him in these 2 cases. One was a mitral valve repair with severe MR, a child of around 8 years, and another child of 4 years with severe MR, VSD, and severe tricuspid regurgitation. And the repairing techniques were something totally new, what we have been operating in the last 25 to 30 years plus. His principles are very clear. He tells no artificial tissue should be implanted in a child. That he takes the tissues from the child and creates a new valve. And that was really a learning curve for all of us. And he has promised us to come and train again and again to India to all the cardiac surgeons. Under the banner of selfless love, to spread the health and happiness during the momentous occasion of 45th birthday of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, we took an initiative. The Healing Little Hearts team from United Kingdom came down and a groundbreaking initiative was conducted here, conducting 45 surgeries in 6 days, 31 open heart surgeries and 14 cath interventions within a span of 6 days, which set for the Healing Hearts team a world record because the maximum cases they were conducted in a camp anywhere across the globe of more than 306 camps. They had crossed around 26 to 27 cases and we happened to do around 45 cases just for the occasion of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. These 6 days of compassion action, which began at 4 a.m. in the morning, would wind up at midnight around 11:30-12, had made a transformative progress to trend towards the realizing of truth of one world and one family. We had a team coming from all the way from Barcelona, Spain, and the surgeon, the intensivist, they were all there. And it was really, for them, it was joy working at this rural part of our country. And they very clearly told, we have never worked in the last 54 years of our lifespan like this, operating around 8 to 9 cases per day. And end of the day, they were quite happy. After 6 days, they left back to Barcelona. And the case mix was quite complex. We have a number of cardiac surgeons here. It's not that only simple cases we planned. We had about 4 redo cases. We had a Ozaki repair, a classic case of aortic valve regurgitation, where with the help of a Ozaki template, we happened to do an excellent Ozaki valve repair, mitral valve repairs, tricuspid valve repairs, 1.5 ventricle repairs, and of course the routine TOFs, ASDs and VSDs. Not only this, and we happened to sign an MOU with the chairman of Healing Little Hearts team, wherein they promised us to support all Sathya Sai Sanjeevani centers across the globe free of cost, coming down and working with us. That was a major setback. The Indian Association of Cardiothoracic Vascular Surgeons and the Paediatric Cardiac Society of India have endorsed this 2 days program. I thank the executive committee members of both the associations for endorsing this program. We have some of the executive committee members sitting here amongst us today. Not only this, the Indian Association of Cardiac Surgeons were kind enough to conduct the ISTS core program, one of its kind in the country, which is continuously conducting in Sathya Sai institutes for the last 9 years. And it's a training program for the budding cardiac surgeons. It's like a preliminary examinations. Whoever attends this program, their pass result is more than 99% plus. And we happen to have excellent teachers. Some of the teachers are sitting here who have been serving selflessly for the last 9 years. And on this occasion, we happen to release the 10th edition of Score textbook, which is an examination notes by Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai on that day. We had crossed the limit of 294 plus registrations in the SCORE program, one of the highest in the last 9 years. Not only that, this conference we have crossed more than 600 plus delegates. Lot of challenges last moments, and the required number of wet lab sessions what we have planned. I think God planned in such a way that everybody gets a chance to learn, and the Kalangos is there to teach his techniques. We have certain techniques of double right ventricular outflow tract repairs, wherein we create a bicuspid valve, and also the Ozaki technique. We have the master sitting here amongst us, and they will help us to see that what a repair can be done. And the mix of topics were from various stalwarts across the country who are there online, and also who have come physically. When the valve repair fails, we can't replace a valve in a child, especially in a smaller child. Then we end up in heart failure, and we have not left anything around. We have Dr. K.R. Balakrishnan amongst us, who has done the highest number of heart and lung transplants in Asia, crossing 600, having a lecture tomorrow morning with us. He is amongst us today. We are happy, sir, to have you amongst us. Dear colleagues, always a cardiac surgeon journey comes to an end. We had one of the senior most cardiac surgeons of our country, the first generation. In contemporary, in fact, senior to Dr. K.M. Cherian, Dr. Marthanda Varma Shankaram Valiyathan. He was the faculty coming down to this conference. I had talked to him 3 months back. He told Hiramat, I am unable to travel off late, but I will definitely attend online. But unfortunately, we could not have him here. On the day of Ashad Ekadashi at 9 p.m., he left this mortal coil. A distinguished cardiac surgeon of the country, who was the recipient of Padma Shri in 2002, Padma Vibhushan in 2005. The founder, director of Sri Chitra Tirunala Institute of Medical Sciences and Technology, Trivandrum, Dr. M.S. Valithan, passed 2 days back at the age of 90. Fondly remembered as a great inspiration to the cardiac fraternity, he was a professor under whose guidance and mentorship many fine cardiac surgeons have passed through. He invented a valve called as TTK Chitra valve. That's the first make in India valve about 33 years back. At 25th years of its inauguration, completion of 25 years, we at Sathya Sai Institute, we had invited him to our institute and felicitated the surgeon and the patient commemorating 25 years of his successful valve repair. Dear colleagues, this valve is not FDA approved. If you wait for FDA approval from America, then definitely none of the Indian patients would have survived by this time. This is approved by the DCGI government of India, and till date we have implanted more than 2 lakh plus TTK Chitra valves, which itself is an epitome of that. And there are published articles, include our own article in the history of the journals, where how it can function even at the age of 32 years plus. He saved n number of lives, which were valves which were mainly affected either from rheumatic heart disease, where India stands as a pioneer in heart diseases, and also because of various other reasons. The genius innovation is truly a testament of his love to the nation and its people. Not only this, Dr. M.S. Valiyathan played a vital role in setting up institutes at Puttaparthi, at Whitefield Sathya Sai Institutes, at Sanjeevani group of hospitals, whether it is Raipur or in Palwal. And Sadguru Madhusudan Sai, before he left his mortal coil, his photos are depicted at the entrance of all the hospitals. I request everybody to stand up for a minute as a token of respect for this great soul. I request everybody to be seated. Once again, offering our sincere prayers, may his soul rest in peace. To quote Sadguru, nutrition, education, and healthcare are fundamental rights of every child, and the collective responsibility is of the entire society. On this note of compassion, I welcome you all once again for the first international conference of pediatric heart valve repairs. And with the blessings of Sadguru, this valve repair needs innovation at every day, every moment, every month, every year. And in the month of July every year, before Guru Purnima, as a part of celebrations of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai's birthday anniversaries, we will conduct this conference every year. Newer innovations are coming up. We have the Executive Director of National Board of Examinations, Dr. Minu Bajpai, with us, who has promised us to start DNB courses in DNB CT-based cardiac surgeries, in cardiology and cardiac anesthesia in the coming academic year. I request you, sir, hope you keep up to your promise. I had a long discussion with Dr. A. Kalangos, seeing his techniques of valve repairs, and he came forward that he is ready to work with some of the Indian industries which are coming up with the valves, innovations. We have come up with recent Make in India bioprosthetic valves, Make in India single leaflet and bileaflet valve. In the same territories, he would like to collaborate and re-innovate his tricuspid ring in India, and he would like to name it as Sai Kalangos ring. That's very good of you, sir. We'll definitely collaborate. After the feedback from morning sessions were unstoppable. Teachers are unstoppable in teaching and asking questions. Many more hands-on workshops will be planned to train cardiac surgeons, because training is the biggest challenge in the country today. And Sadhguru's mission is to train many more surgeons, and we'll have many more pediatric valve repair surgeons in India, so that we give a near normal life to the budding child, so that he makes a difference to the society. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir, for that very passionate talk. May we now invite Dr. Sean Sethi to present an overview of Sadhguru's healthcare mission, a global perspective. Dr. Sean is the head of Department of Cardiac Surgery, Miller Children's and Women's Hospital and Long Beach Memorial Medical Center, California, USA. He is also member, Board of Advisors for Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani chain of child heart care hospitals. Over to Dr. Sean.
Om Shri Sai Ram, my humble pranams of the Divine Lotus Feet, our dearest Sadhguru, distinguished guests and brothers and sisters. I'm so happy to be here today. You know, I was thinking about the history of Sanjeevani, and it's only been a short 12 or so years, sitting on the sandy fields in Raipur and seeing nothing, and then seeing what we have today is absolutely miraculous to me. Having a pediatric heart valve conference, which I can tell you some of the most experienced speakers in the world. It felt like a lot has happened in the last decade. So Sadhguru was just asking me to tell everybody how I got to this place. And it was Sathya Sai Baba who actually asked me to become a cardiac surgeon, not really knowing what to expect in the future. But I can tell you, when he told me, I didn't believe it. And what he said was, when you become a pediatric heart surgeon, it's like fixing a tree, right, when it's a sapling. If it's sideways, you can straighten it, and it grows into a straight tree. But when an adult tree grows and it becomes crooked, it's very hard to straighten it. And what he told me was, I want you to be a surgeon, at which point I wasn't thinking of being a surgeon. And then he said, I want you to be a cardiac surgeon. And I think my jaw dropped down a little bit more. And then he said, I want you to be a pediatric cardiac surgeon. And I was just calculating the number of years in my mind that was going to take me to get there. And it's been a remarkable journey. And can we get the slides up? As the slides are coming up, I wanted to talk about the Sanjeevani system because I think it holds a lot of value, not just because of what it does, but the meaning behind it. Sanjeevani started with the one hospital in Raipur. Now, quickly, we have 5 in India. We have multiple internationally. We're in Fiji. We even have a center in the United States in Clarksville, Mississippi. We're in Sri Lanka. We're building a center in Turkey. There's plans to build one in Africa. There's plans to build one in South America. And there's many missions that are happening elsewhere, such as Malaysia. And as already stated, it's the largest chain of cardiac centers in the world. But on top of that, there's all these mother and child centers too, taking care of those who need something. And I think what I see with all of this, and it's been under the expert guidance of our chairman, C. Srinivas. But I think when the divine thread comes together with the human hands, it kind of shows what's possible. And I think that's what the meeting today has shown me. We have the biggest experts in the world giving these talks. And I can tell you, this was probably one of the best meetings I've been to in a long time. Very pertinent to the complexities of congenital heart disease and congenital heart surgery. And it's amazing to me to see the talent that we have here. We have so much talent in the room. And I think the goal of Sanjeevani is to form a global heart network. I want to thank Dr. Hiramath for putting together a wonderful symposium, Dr. Kalangos for his leadership. But as we look at these centers, we want to have teams, dedicated teams that go to each one of these regions and develops their own expertise in centers. And after some time, those places will be able to do things on their own. And I think that's the miracle of all of this, because it's all free of costs. I come from the West, from the United States, where I think a hospital wouldn't be able to run for probably half a day if it wasn't funded correctly. And as we see all this happening free of cost, there's only one role behind it, and that's the divine. So I want to thank you all for being here. I'm looking forward to more and more of these meetings in the future. Sairam.
As mentioned by Dr. Hiremath earlier, 45 cardiac surgeries were performed last month. 45 children were blessed with a new lease of life and hope. 45 families were gifted back their most prized possession, their children, healed and healthy. In just a month, all these children have shown remarkable recovery.
Isn't this what all of us work for? Answering the call of a pained mother, witnessing a child growing into contributing to his family, to her society, our nation, and the world. As per our tradition, today we will be having the Gift of Life ceremony for 3 little beautiful children who have received a new lease of life through the selfless acts of our doctors, nurses, and hospital team. The first child is baby Prithvik, who is 3 months old, and he's here with his mother Shobha from Bangalore. Prithvik's father is a tailor, and they have a family income monthly of less than 10,000 rupees. He had developed breathlessness during his birth and was rushed to hospital. Today, Prithvik has gone through a tetralogy of fallow repair at a time when his parents could not afford 3 lakhs of surgery that was told to them by the hospital. Let us all welcome him, pray for him, that he has a healthy life ahead.
नींद में हाथ किसका मैं थामूं, डर लगा तो मैं किसको पुकारूं, नींद में हाथ किसका मैं थामूं, माँ ओ माँ पास अपने ही रहने दो ना माँ.
Next, we have a 6-month-old baby. The baby's mother is Miss Bhumika from Sadali, Chikbalapur. Right from birth, the baby had frequent fevers and was in a private hospital for about 20 days. The doctors there confirmed that the baby had congenital heart defect. They followed up with the doctors for a month, and finally they found solace here through the mother's sister, who serves as a housekeeping staff in our hospital. They had already spent 40,000 rupees, which was much beyond their means, and the doctors had told them that a surgery for the child would cost more than 3 lakhs, which was unthinkable for the family. The child went through VSD surgical closure and PDA ligation.
The child clearly knows what he needs best. Next we have baby Anjali. She's 8 years old. She was diagnosed a heart defect when she was just 8 months, and the family was so scared because in the first 3 months her doctor told her that if they don't get an operation immediately, the child would die. And it is out of fear that they did not go through any hospital for 7 years. She wants to grow up to be a police officer. Another interesting fact is that this child is from the Sathya district of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, thank you. Let us all join together in wishing these children a happy and joyful life ahead. Chiranjeevi Bhava.
We now request our chief guest, Dr. Cherian, to share a few words. Considered as the father of Indian cardiac surgery, he performed India's first coronary artery bypass surgery and also the first heart-lung transplant in the country. He is a recipient of the Padma Shri Award for his yeoman service of more than 50 years in cardiac surgery. Dr. Cherian, please.
Respected and revered Sadguru, respected colleagues, friends on the dais and in the audience. It has been a surprise for me that I was asked to come as a chief guest. Of course, Sathya Sai Baba's work is known to me and I have been associated with it. I was just telling Sadguru that I was in Puttaparthi when P. Venugopal used to go there. After that I went to Naya Raipur. I think I met you there. Then I went to Palwal. And now this is 4th. Looking at this hall itself, I am really amazed. How is it possible? See, I was a migrant to US, Australia and New Zealand, and I had a lot of job offers. But I decided to come back to India just for 1 year. Just come and see what I can do. the standard of cardiac surgery in India was very poor. As one of my bosses used to say, opening up the economy has helped India compared to many other Asian countries. We were progressing fast. And that is why many of us had the opportunity either to go to Western countries or US and get trained. But coming back to India, and I thought I'll come for 1 year and see whether I'll be able to do something. I came exactly on June 6th, 1975. That was a Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday I had the opportunity to do a open heart. And subsequently, the fourth case which I did was the bypass surgery. I never knew that I was doing the first bypass surgery in the country. And that was a Friday. Monday in the newspaper only I came to know that we did the first bypass surgery in railway hospital. Subsequently, whatever we did was first. Infants, complex problems, etc., etc. So, for everybody, there is something kept for you. You don't understand what is it. This is what I was just saying, that we all came with nothing. Open palm. And we have got a limited period, whether we live 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, or whatever it is. When we go back again, we go back with the open heart. So what we got in between is only the satisfaction we had, the contentment. When my father died in my hands, his last word was, Tripti Ai. He was contented. I also feel that that should be the word I should also be uttering, Tripti Ai. Because my grandmother became a widow at the age of 21. My mother was 4 years old. So I know the difficulties of a mother when she was young. So I always have a soft corner for single parents, the mother and the girl child. Because educating and looking after a girl is equal to educating and looking after 10 boys. Now, if I am able to show you a couple of slides. Can I have the next slide, please? Next. This is a birthday wishes from Dr. Kalangos. It's okay. Next slide, please. Now, this is Dr. Kalangos had operated. This girl, when she was 12 years old, we conduct free camps all over the country and outside also. In fact, you will be surprised. We don't have anything, but during my cardiology and cardiac surgery career, we were looking back, because I am writing my autobiography. We had done more than 78,000 free cardiac camps all over the country, starting from Tripura up to Cape Comorin. We have conducted so many camps in Myanmar also. So this is all what we could do. And this girl, who had a Kalangos ring, operated in one of the villages in Kerala 12 years ago. Today, she is a nurse, educated to be a nurse, and she is in charge of a primary health center in her place, That happens to be a hilly area in Surat. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Next. Yeah. We had a good talk about Ross procedures today. And in fact, Sohair Al-Alis was operating there, and we operated in 2 days, I think 6 or 7 Ross procedures and 1 Ross Cono without any mortality. All these kids have done well. Next slide. Next. 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 Just go on passing. These are all technical. In fact, I made for our conference today. But that is not what is important. I want to show. This is a 3-month-old infant at that time. Now she is 17 or 18. We had done a Ross when she was 3 months old. I think probably that was the youngest Ross done at that time in all over the world. Next. 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 Now, this is something interesting. Next. 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 Next one. Next one. Next one. Now, this is again, it has never been reported anywhere. This lady had 5 times operations. We started operating on her when she was 22. And she was weighing 22 kilos. Later on, she delivered a boy who has done his MTech in software technology from IIT Hyderabad. Now, can you go back? Hello? If you see on the left-hand side, there is a chest X-ray. The heart is so big, and I don't know whether you can see, there are 3 points which are shown with red markings. These are 3 valves. So many people have done a triple valve replacement, that is nothing big. But in this lady, because of the 5th operation, we had to do what we call an auto transplant with a triple valve replacement. This is the first reported case in the whole world literature. She is doing well. Next slide, please. So, what I am saying is, you have an opportunity. You have support. And he is being supported, I believe, because I have gone through all these things. We have made our own valve, taking pig valve from the MPA, that is Meat Product of India, and we have made valve, and which has been recognized and recommended by the DGS, CDSCO, DST, TDB, all these bureaucratic things. But we have not been able to produce it. We used it, we gave it to All India Institute and Chandigarh. We ourselves have used it. But due to bureaucracy, due to red tapeism, it's unfortunate for me to say this, we have never been able to do it. So, what I feel is this, it's a good idea. You should have a research institute, everything. But because you are all well known, people respect you for what you are doing. But we are not well known. Nobody knows us. We do our work in small place, nobody bothers about it. We have no governmental support, nothing. Banks will not support you. So that is why I said, looking at this hall, this is made by God, not by you. So thank you for the time. Thank you. I'm grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time today. Sir, in your presence and on this very special day, we also remember our very dear Dr. Krishna Manohar, who was the first pediatric cardiac surgeon of Sathya Sai Sanjeevani. And he always told the Sanjeevani family that Sai Sanjeevani belonged to the parampara of Dr. Cherian and Dr. Valiyathan. And it is their blessings that silently drive the continued service of this chain of hospitals. Thank you so much, sir. We would now like to present a token of our gratitude to Dr. Cherian.
You know one thing, I usually don't get excited. But today, I'm excited because you gave me something. I must return it to you. This is a gold medal, which I am going to present it to respected and revered Sadguru, to be given for the best outgoing cardiac science student. Cardiology, surgery, anesthesia, perfusion, whatever it is, for the best one.
May we now invite our guest of honor, Dr. Minu Bajpai, to address the gathering.
Sai Ram, good evening. Most respected Sadguru, it's a great privilege to attend this meeting by AIICTS on pediatric heart valve repairs in the divine presence of the Sadguru, in the presence of eminent cardiac surgeons on the dais, off the dais, and those who are joining online, and friends. Well, Dr. Hiremat has asked me to speak for only 4 minutes, so I can't go in my flow. So I jotted down a few things to restrict myself. So the theme of this year's meeting in pediatric is pediatric heart valve repairs. Being myself a pediatric surgeon, I can realize and relate and testify to the complexities and difficulties of operating on a child, especially the newborns and very young babies, low birth weight babies, small babies. The birth defects are structural. They immensely, profoundly affect the function and survival of the patients. They come in spectrum. The same condition, same disease and problem would have spectrums of presentation in pediatric scenarios. So not only the challenge is to restore the anatomy, but to see that the repair that you do stays, because the child grows. The child grows and you have to make sure that the indigenous tissues, and I really endorse what Dr. Carlos has the philosophy of using local tissues because they will grow and not the prosthetic material. Nevertheless, there are scenarios where you have to put in prosthetic material. So that's one part, the complexity of very small babies, miniature surgery, the intricacies of navigating through a situation with a bypass, and obviously making sure that these structures function. So therefore the challenges are many, and therefore it's a compliment that the ICTS is holding a conference for the repair of pediatric heart valves. This is the first meeting, it's a historical meeting. I must compliment the organizing committee and Dr. Hiremet in particular to actually spearhead this movement. Well, the National Board of Examination is the body which conducts PG entrance examination called NEET, the National Entrance and Eligibility Test, for all the MBBS doctors who aspire to become PGs. This is as per the Supreme Court law. And therefore, as a result of that, we conduct entrance courses for more than 2 lakh students. This time there were 2.3 lakh students, which are going to take the exam, sir, on the 11th of August. And we are able to offer them 70,000 PG seats. I'll come to that part once again. For the cardiothoracic surgery, we offer several courses. The DRNB, which is a super specialty course in CTVS for adult surgery, thoracic surgery, vascular surgery. There is a 6-year course in CTVS. There is a 2-year fellowship in pediatric CTVS. There has been an increasing need felt to start an integrated course. I remember meeting the board members, especially Dr. Krishna Iyer in Delhi, when we had a meeting which talked about how we can relook at the programs of CTVS so that we attract more and more people to join the specialty. Of late, it was observed that people were not interested in joining it. Now, we have been thinking about starting integrated courses and also a program so that we can utilize optimally the available hospital space in a country, which is plenty for training purposes. Therefore, when Dr. Hiremet has been insisting to start a 6-year pediatric cardiothoracic surgery course, which is an integrated course, and Dr. Sai mentioned to me last year that it is very important that we do this. For a few years, we have been thinking about starting a joint accreditation scheme so that we can utilize the available hospital space in the country to optimize. Many of the hospitals have enough clinical material, as we know, but because they are not able to meet up the accreditation criteria alone, we are not able to utilize those beds and space for training purposes. So we were struggling to think about a possibility to utilize that. And I would say that it was the divine hand of the Sadguru, because when I returned after talking to him here, things which were all stalled really spearheaded. We were able to launch last year a program called the Joint Accreditation Scheme, and I'll tell you briefly about it. As I mentioned just now, for accreditation of a hospital for training purposes, we need 3 criteria: the case load, the case mix, then appropriate number of cases of each types, and the teacher eligibility. As I mentioned, that the National Board of Examination has got 1,500 hospitals under its belt, and we are able to contribute to 15,000 PG seats every year, contributing to a total pool of 70,000 PG seats, because most of them we give to the National Medication Commission held medical colleges. But we in our country do not have only 1,500 hospitals. We have 70,000 hospitals. So imagine if we tap another 10 or 20% of them, we will suddenly have about 1.5 lakh PG seats available. So, Divine Sadguruji, this is what happened. A possibility which was just at the periphery and configuring and yet to configure after I returned speaking to you under your divine hand, we were able to spearhead that. So we decided to have 2 hospitals joining resources, residents can rotate in them, work on hand, and this particular scheme was launched by our Honorable Health Minister of that time, Dr. Mansukh Mandviya ji, already sir. This scheme has a potential to mop up available hospital space for training in the country. We have rolled it out last year. We are watching the teething problems, if there are any, and we have started it for the broad specialties, sir. I have promised to Dr. Hariamat that we will start it for super specialties also. Our board has met. But we wanted to start with broad specialties to see are there any teething problems so that when we start for super specialties, we could address them more robustly. So we believe that at the end of the year, when we do the audit and we find out the situations which could be handled, I am sure with the blessings of the divine, we would be able to roll it out, a 6-year course in pediatric cardiothoracic surgery very soon. Now, the National Board of Examination has national interest and accountability. We look at various trends. We look at the demography of population, the demography of disease. We look at social trends, political will. We look at the requirements and national priorities and programs. It's a big topic, and I'll touch what is relevant today, and which means that India, with a population of children below 14 years age, contributing to 25% of the 1.4 billion. The pediatric population is substantial. As Dr. Cherian mentioned, that if you actually address a child or a girl child, you are addressing the whole family and much larger. So obviously, we are conscious about it at the National Board of Examination. Out of the total 41 fellowship programs, which are skill enhancement programs, 17 of them are pediatric specific programs, almost half of them. So we are addressing the issues as per the requirement of the nation, and we realize, reading the article by Dr. Krishna Iyer several years ago when he was the president, I realized the deficit of cardiothoracic surgeons, especially the pediatric cardiothoracic surgeons. It is the need of the hour, and under the divine blessing of the Sadguru, it will happen very, very soon. I'll tell you, because many of you are administrators here, that a joint accreditation program has a potential to have 2 hospitals, which could be government and government hospital. There could be government and private hospital. There could be 2 private hospitals, or there could be a large standalone diagnostic center clubbing with 1 hospital. Imagine the potential. Imagine the amount of work which is happening in our country, which will be now tapped for training purposes also. India has a deficit of specialists to the tune of 15 lakh specialists. This is the Lok Sabha figure. And we are producing 70,000 per year. This way, this gap will only increase. Joint accreditation scheme with the potential of having 2 lakh plus PG seats, as I told you how it is going to be brought about, is going to address this issue, not only meeting the deficit which our country has, but producing surplus for the rest of the country, because the World Health Organization has projected 2030 to meet the sustainable developmental goals. They are far short. We are likely to have a deficit of healthcare workers of 2 crore in 2030, where I would have met at par, and there will be a deficit of 50 lakh doctors. The deficit which is there of doctors in the United States is huge. If we don't have enough doctors for ourselves and surplus doctors for the rest of the world, there will be huge poaching and will be loss of doctors. So obviously, this program has come in a long way. Now, Sri Sathya Sai Gram, with the divine blessings of the Sadguru, I've been very fortunate that in a short period of 6 months to 8 months, this is my umpteenth visit. It could not have happened had not been the blessings of the Sadguru. It's a beautiful place which works on a beautiful theme of nutrition, education, and healthcare. With their indigenous product, Poshan, this is a product which is a very low cost, high protein, highly nutritious product which is available to the students of the university in the local population and across the country, which is hugely successful as a product to help the nutrition of the children. Besides education in the university, which is free of cost, a university which not only teaches the subject but the ethos of our Vedas, a very unique concept which takes us to the past, where ancient times it were the universities, the temples which were running the hospital. I'm just taking the word from the Sadguru, and he had said it was the temples and the priests who were running the local systems. It was free of cost, and this is something which we are witnessing in Sai Dham. And it is no wonder that the Sai Dham is running more than 300 healthcare centers across the globe, 60 countries, including India, and many of these are running state-of-the-art hospital offering what else? Pediatric cardiac surgery care. Now, again, we keep on at the national board, keep our ears and eyes open. Technology is going vertically up. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is now pervading each and every sphere of life. The projected economy, GDP global by 2035, predicted by the Global Economic Forum is $15 trillion as far as AI and ML is concerned alone. 25% of this is health related. There was a survey conducted by Elsevier, a very famous publishing house which come out with journals. They also realized something is happening. So they did a survey of clinical physicians across 111 countries. 3,000 physicians responded. 83% of them said that technology literacy is taking upper hand on clinical knowledge alone. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, there is a question asked quite frequently, is AI ML going to replace doctors? No. But the AI ML enabled doctors will replace those doctors who are not AI ML enabled. That is where it was important that we include in our program a course in AI ML. So we talked to the IITs, the Madras IT in particular, which took the lead. And from this year, we are rolling down a 2-year fellowship in artificial intelligence and machine learning. The minimal eligibility criteria for that will be an MBBS. PGs can also join. There are many areas in which AI ML could be applied and utilized for the welfare of the people. Look at hospital administration, then inventories, artificial retina, artificial kidney, cardiac catheters. We are all aware pathology, dermatology, radiology is already very much in the thick of things of AI ML. Things are being utilized, they are being practiced. So with these words, I would end by saying that it had been a great pleasure and privilege and honor to be here amongst you today. Sri Sai Institute of Medical Sciences would be one of the top institutions where this fellowship would start, and I'm quite sure about it. With these words, best wishes for a productive academic training under the IACTS. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, once again. We look forward to your continued support in furthering our institution's goals. A token of our love to Dr. Bajpai ji. We will now have Dr. Kalangos share his thoughts with us. In the past 10 years, he has traveled all over the world with his medical team performing his art of saving the lives of children, as a Greek journalist put it. He and his team have traveled to a total of 25 countries performing pro bono heart surgeries on 15,000 children. Dr. Kalangos, please.
Most respected Sadguru, distinguished guests, dear faculty members, dear attendants and friends. First of all, as the organizing chairman of this conference, I am most grateful to most respected Sadguru, who during his last visit in Istanbul accepted our proposal and allowed us today the organization of this event. We all understand the importance of pediatric heart valve diseases, especially in a young population like India. These diseases represent a vast subject deserving to be presented in all anatomic, pathophysiological, cardiological, and surgical aspects with a multidisciplinary approach. This is the main reason why we have organized this conference, thanks to the online presence of our international and the physical presence of our national guest speakers. I believe that by participating in this conference, we are in the right place and the right time to accelerate the exchange of ideas and scaling up of good practices in the field of pediatric heart valves. I am confident that all together we will discover new ideas, learn new technologies, feel fresh energy, and develop novel partnerships to sustain our efforts in the treatment of these children suffering from heart valve diseases through science, technology, and innovation. I would like to thank all the guest speakers, and especially Dr. Hirmath, Dr. Sethi, Dr. Arvind, Dr. Ragupati, Dr. Upanthai, and Dr. Babu, who helped in preparing and organizing this 2 days event at this spectacular venue. I wish you all a very successful conference. To conclude, a short message to the medical students. You have the chance to be under the holy umbrella of the most respected Sadguru. Take advantage of this chance and later be part of this holy program and network to reinforce the common support to people in need all around the world. Thank you very much.
We would like to offer a token of our love and gratitude to Professor Kalangos.
Today, we are extremely honored and grateful to have several luminaries who are cardiologists and cardiothoracic surgeons who have all graciously agreed to be a part of this conference, sharing their knowledge and skills. We are especially thankful to Dr. Cherian for your kindness and generosity, sir. We are certain that our medical students who are all seated here are not only inspired, but will work hard and aspire to be a recipient of that gold medal from Sadhguru's hands one day. We would now like to extend a token of our appreciation to all these esteemed faculty members.
Dr. Sharon Cherian, Indira Gandhi Medical College, Puducherry. We request the dignitaries to kindly present our token of love. Dr. Snehal Kulkarni, Fortis Hospital, Mumbai.
Dr. Annie Arvind, Senior Pediatric Cardiologist and Joint Organizing Secretary of the conference. Dr. Ragini Pandey, Head of Department and Chief Consultant of Pediatric Cardiac Surgery at the Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Hospital, Nava Raipur.
Dr. Shivakumar Shivalingam, Clinical Director, National Heart Institute, Malaysia. Respected Dr. Krishna Iyer from New Delhi, Fortis. Dr. Suresh Rao from Bombay. Dr. Suresh Rao. Next we have Dr. K.R. Balakrishnan from Chennai.
May we also call upon Dr. Mrinalendu Das. Dr. Mrinalendu Das from Rabindranath Tagore International Institute of Cardiac Sciences, Kolkata. Dr. B.R. Jagannath. Dr. Jagannath from Star Hospitals, Hyderabad. May we also call upon Dr. Devagauru, Dr. Smriti Ranjan Mohanty on this dais, please. We request the other faculty members to please come on the dais. Dr. Sachin Talwar, Dr. Prasanna Simha, Dr. Sitaram Bhatt, Dr. Devananda. May we invite you on the dais, please. Dr. Devagauru, cardiothoracic surgeon from AIIMS. Dr. Smriti Ranjan Mohanty, Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital, Mumbai. Dr. Sachin Talwar is a professor of cardiac surgery at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Dr. Prasanna Simha Mohan Rao, professor of cardiothoracic surgery, Sri Jayadeva Institute, Bangalore.
Next we have Dr. Sitaram Bhatt from Sri Jayadeva Institute, Bangalore. May we request Dr. Chinnaswamy Reddy from Rainbow Children's Heart Institute, Dr. Vijay Kumar Raju from GKNM Hospital, Coimbatore, and Dr. Sujit from Kokilaben Hospital to kindly come onto the dais. Dr. Chinnaswamy Reddy from Rainbow Children's Heart Institute, Hyderabad.
Dr. Vijay Kumar Raju is the director at the Center for Pediatric Congenital Heart Disease, GKNM Hospital, Coimbatore.
May we invite Dr. Adarsh Kopula and Dr. S.K. Agarwal to kindly come onto the dais, please.
Next we have Dr. Sujit, Pediatric Cardiothoracic Surgeon, Kokilaben Hospital, Mumbai.
This is Dr. Adarsh Kopula, Associate Director at Max Hospital, New Delhi. And Dr. S.K. Agarwal from Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences, Lucknow.
May we also invite Dr. Jay Kumar, Dr. Debashish, Dr. Sunil Kaushal to please come onto the dais. Also Dr. Sanjay Cherian, Dr. Ganapati, Dr. Vishwanath, please.
Dr. Jaikumar TK, Professor and Head of Department of CTVS, Government Medical College, Kottayam. Dr. Debashish Das, Narayana Super Specialty Hospital, Kolkata.
Dr. Sunil Kaushal from Mahatma Gandhi Hospital in Jaipur. Dr. Sanjay Cherian, Frontier Lifeline Hospital, Chennai. As they say, it's all in the family. Dr. Ganapati Subramaniam, MGM Healthcare, Chennai.
May we request Dr. Ravi Shankar Shetty from Ramaya Heart Center, Dr. Ram Prasad from Velamal Hospital, Madurai, Dr. Sean Shetty and Dr. to kindly come onto the stage.
Next we have Dr. Vishwanath Kamoji, an accomplished pediatrician and neonatal consultant in Bangalore. Dr. Ravi Shankar Shetty, Ramaya Heart Center, Bangalore.
Dr. Ram Prasad, Senior Consultant Cardiothoracic Surgeon from Velamal Hospital, Madurai. We have Dr. Vishwanath Kamoji, a pediatrician neonatal consultant from Bangalore. Our very own Dr. Sean Shetty. Dr. Parimala.
Dr. Parimala is a cardiac anesthetist at the Sri Jayadeva Institute of Cardiovascular Sciences, Bangalore. And last but not the least, Dr. C.S. Hiremat, Chief Cardiac Surgeon and the Organizing Secretary of this conference. We request all the doctors to kindly join for the group photograph on the stage, please.
And we request the dignitaries to kindly be seated. Thank you. We'd like the dignitaries to be seated, so we have
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of all of us, we pray to Sadguru to bless us with his divine message.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्. I often begin any of these healthcare conferences with this prayer that may all be happy, may all be healthy, may no one see any sorrow, may everybody see auspiciousness everywhere. With this prayer, which is an ancient Indian prayer, we begin every day's work at our institutions, where we pray for the welfare of all, not just for ourselves or our family or our communities or people known to us, but for everyone, even those who are unknown, unrelated. That is the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is the idea of the one world, one family that we talk about. And today we have so many members from the cardiac fraternity of our country as well as from abroad. And the most cherished moment for me is to have Dr. Cherian here with us, who has made it all the way from Chennai. And we know about his contribution to the India's cardiac program. He has been a master trainer. He has trained so many of them. And Dr. Krishna Manohar, who was with us till recently, we lost him unfortunately. But he was the disciple, direct disciple of Dr. Cherian. And he would speak volumes about Dr. Cherian's kindness, compassion, his skills, his dexterity and his training skills. More than anything else, how well he would train anybody who would come to him. And he has produced so many cardiac surgeons, pediatric cardiac surgeons for the country. Your contribution is immense. May I take the opportunity to institute a permanent gold medal in our medical college in Dr. Cherian's name. This is just the beginning, but that will be a permanent medal. Thank you very much. I also very fondly remember Dr. Valiathan. Even last time he could not come because of his health issues. He was almost wheelchair bound that time. But he requested for a Zoom meeting, or an online meeting with me, which I had back in the room behind. And he was talking about so many ideas. He was bursting with ideas even at that ripe age. And he was talking to me about something very different from cardiac surgeries and valves. He told me about we need a lot of biomedical engineers in India. This was his main discussion. And he kept on telling me, why don't you do something about it? We need a lot of good quality, highly skilled biomedical engineers to maintain our medical infrastructure, equipments, and that is where India is lagging behind. So I request Dr. Hiremat, Dr. Raghupati to please find out how we can start a biomedical engineering course, which will help a lot of these children to take that course and also become very useful to the society, to the hospitals in India as well as abroad. May we institute a program for biomedical engineering in Dr. Valiathan's name, because that was the promise I made to him, and I must keep the promise that he had taken from me. The other guest that I have, he's not a guest anymore, Dr. Kalangos is a family. I meet him often, sometimes in Greece, sometimes in Turkey, and most of the times in India. He's become a family, a friend, a confidant of this hospital. And we are all working on a very great program. He I think, just mentioned it in passing. But he's trying to create a global humanitarian network of doctors, hospitals, and patients, where this particular network, called Global Heart Network, would connect heart patients from around the world and connect them to the closest hospital that is willing to offer that service, with a particular surgeon who is willing to go there or is already there to offer that service free of charge. And that is the work that he, Sean, and everybody has embarked on, and I'm sure in couple of months perhaps the software will be ready, and after that it will be launched so that any patient from anywhere can log in and put in his request, and then he will be directed to the nearest hospital that can offer that service, or to the nearest surgeon who can provide that service to that patient. That way we will be able to match the requirements of the patients with the availability of the services nearby. And that is one step forward in making healthcare available, accessible, and affordable to the last person. So Dr. Kalangos is a pathbreaker in all these initiatives. We just heard about Sai Kalangos' ring, and he's always been doing that, finding new ways, new pathways, new protocols to help children to make their lives better, to give back them near normal lives. He and his wife's contribution, whom I meet often, is tremendous, and he's also helping us establish a hospital, a center in Istanbul area. I know it's fraught with challenges, but I'm sure with Dr. Kalangos at the helm of affairs, we will pull it off sooner or later. Thank you. Dr. Bajpai, I've stopped counting how many times you have come in the last 1 year, but he has become, as I said, a family now, a part of this healthcare family. And I had only asked him for one thing: can you find a way to squeeze the total training period for a pediatric cardiac surgeon in India from those long 12 or 15 years of several courses in several institutions to one course in one institution? Can that happen in India, is what I asked for, an integrated DNB program in pediatric cardiac surgery, which I proposed to be 6 years plus 1 year, or some kind of a program schedule. And he has diligently worked on it. And just now he was mentioning that it's almost there, and hopefully in a year's time we will have that program. It's a great blessing and boon for those who want to become pediatric cardiac surgeons in India. Dr. Sean, yeah, you have to clap for it. This will be, again, a very path-breaking initiative in terms of capacity building in pediatric heart surgery. We in India, as we all know, we run Sanjeevani hospitals, and we see children every day. We do almost 30 procedures, either open heart or cath lab procedures, for almost 30 children every day in India alone. Then we have in Fiji, we have one in Sri Lanka, and more coming up in Nigeria and other places, including the USA. Dr. Sean Shetty was lamenting the pain of becoming a pediatric cardiac surgeon. It takes long years of training, arduous, hard work, and sometimes you never even know if there is an end to this road. Especially in countries like the USA, I've seen they train for 12, 13, 15, 20 years to become a good pediatric cardiac surgeons. We have a lot of them here from different countries. I'm sure they'll agree with me. But with the kind of hospital network we have, the kind of patient load that we have, the mixed case load, as he mentioned about we have, it's definitely possible to do this kind of a program. And once we do it, I think we would have opened gates to a lot of aspiring pediatric cardiac surgeons who just get disillusioned or disappointed because of the long road ahead. They also can become good surgeons. We need all of them. In India, as we know, close to 250,000 to 300,000 children are born every year, whereas we don't do more than 25,000 to 30,000 surgeries a year. So there is a huge backlog. I'm sure there is a large number of Indians who are having congenital heart diseases. Sometimes we do surgeries for patients who are 30 years old. and with the congenital defect. It's just that they could never afford it, they could never go anywhere. Therefore, they are still just languishing with a inferior life, quality of life, somehow managing their lives. We have done surgeries for them too. So it goes to say there is a lot of backlog. If that has to be cleared, then a lot of surgeons have to come up in quick time. And our hospital is always ready to support in whatever way to help the government frame its policies and to execute it, to test it out in our hospitals. And if that works, then it can easily be implemented in all other institutions around the country. So I'm very grateful to Dr. Bajpai for taking it forward and single-handedly fighting for it. It's, in India, as Dr. Cherian was saying, it's not easy to navigate the bureaucracy and get new policies in existence, or implement the policies is even bigger a challenge. But I'm sure with us working together, we will be able to implement this first of its kind integrated pediatric cardiac surgery program, cardiology program, and all other allied programs. And that would be another contribution of our institutions to the fraternity of pediatric cardiac healthcare professionals. To the students who are sitting here, I must tell you, you are very, very fortunate to even see these luminaries. I just feel so bad that you could not meet Krishna Manohar or you could not meet Dr. Valyathan. They were stalwarts. They were people of such eminence, and not just great surgeons, they were great human beings. They were so kind and compassionate. If they wanted, like Dr. Cherian, they could have also gone to US and never returned. But you returned, they returned, everybody stayed back in India to develop India's quality of pediatric heart care. And this is the example that they have set for us. And all of these people were sitting. I'm sure they can do whatever they want, wherever they want, but they stayed back in India and they're supporting India's, problem of pediatric cardiac issues. And that is why we are grateful to them. Children should take inspiration from these great people. And while you learn wherever, whichever part of the world, make sure that you serve our country and all the children of all countries as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. But do not be so ambitious, because medical profession has become extremely ambitious, and sometimes we lose track. The human aspect of it, the compassion aspect of it goes missing. So that should be taken out of the commercialization, and commoditization of healthcare should be stopped. That is our effort. Yes, charge can be there. Not everybody can run free of charge, but it has to be reasonable. It has to be affordable, so that the last person also can access it in some way or the other. Government has taken great initiatives through Ayushman Bharat and several other schemes, and that's commendable because that is helping hospitals like us too, to provide more services to more of the rural population of India. So I'm grateful to the government for such schemes, but we need more interventions, more innovation, more path-breaking ideas to make sure that everybody who deserves a surgery, who needs a surgery, gets it, whether he can afford it or not. That's the kind of healthcare system we want to build. I've studied the healthcare system of the United Kingdom, of the US, and I know how difficult it is for a common person to get whatever services. While NHS is free for all, Dr. Grish is sitting here, we have had long hours of conversation of how difficult or how I don't want to say broke, but how inefficient or insufficient that system has become. So there has to be a new way of doing things in the healthcare space, and we are trying to make a new path here, and we need everybody's support to make sure this path is successful. And we prove it that this works, even in this Kali Yuga, as they say. Charity works, compassion works, kindness works, humanity works. And this is what we are trying to prove, and so far we have been very successful. You have seen our track record of 12 years. During which time many hospitals came up subsequently. And just as we talked, one more pediatric heart hospital in Telangana, which had started with Nilofer as screening program for the children. Now our own facility is getting ready, and hope in the first week of September that will be inaugurated in Siddipet in Telangana, on the outskirts of Hyderabad. So that will serve again the population of Telangana. It's almost there. So if we want to achieve this dream of Sarve Santu Niramaya, let everybody be healthy. And if they fall sick, they should have access to healthcare so that they can become healthy. They can afford to become healthy. That is the kind of country we must create. And our ancients, our ancestors ran the country on these principles. That's how this prayer came about, where they took charge of society's health, society's education, society's nutrition. And all of the society participated in it, from the kings to the common people. They all contributed because they knew that they must make investment in the society in order to lead good life in that society. The moment selfishness creeps in, it destroys families, destroys societies, destroys countries. But when selfless effort is made, lot of this can be reversed. And I'm very hopeful that the kind of people that we have in this room, as well as those who are watching us live from various parts of the world, and all your students who are the future of all these nutrition, healthcare, education, and other requirements, other needs of the country and the world, I'm sure if putting all our efforts together in a concerted way, we will be able to achieve a world of equality, equitability, and accessibility for these basic needs like education, health, and nutrition for everyone. That is the world we are dreaming of. I'm very proud to say that we have Dr. Hiremat with us, who leaves no stone unturned. And his last message comes in the night, probably past 11, and the first message comes in the morning around 4. I don't know when he sleeps. So Hiremat never sleeps, that's what it means. He's always there to do something or the other to improve upon whatever we have been doing so far. And I really appreciate the effort that has been put to get everybody together with the entire team of Dr. Raghupati and the entire medical college and the hospital team. I congratulate all of you for conducting this first of its kind conference. And we have heard, if we are able to achieve what we are trying to achieve through this conference in capacity building, upskilling, I'm sure a lot more children can be saved, and those children can thrive in their life, not just live but thrive, because they'll have a better life, because replacement has been replaced with repairs, and therefore they will do better. I hope these techniques will become a commonplace and all of us will learn from here. I also want to, Dr. Cherian told me that they were working on this valve that they're building with pig tissue, pig heart valve that they're trying to build, produce, and then use it in India, and it is definitely meeting with a lot of obstacles. But I have promised him that I will do everything and more in our might as an institution to make sure that this sees the light of the day, and your idea and your efforts will not go waste. We will see to that sooner or later this is achieved, and we produce those valves in India to make it easy, affordable, and as I said, it's a tissue which gels well with a human tissue, so hopefully that will have less complications and better quality of life. So we look forward to doing that, Dr. Cherian, and we must do it fast, I know, so we will work very hard to get it done. Once again, thanking everybody for making time to be here. I may not be able to say the names of everyone who is here and those who are watching us, but every effort that we make towards a better world for our children, for ourselves, by providing better quality healthcare which is accessible, affordable, we are making a huge difference to the world. And every child we save a family, we save the society, we save the country and the world, because every child is a world citizen and deserves a second chance. So we are here to provide that second chance with whatever resources, skills, knowledge we have. May I invite you again and again to this ashram, to this institution, so that we find more ways, better ways of doing what we are already doing. And we have Sanjeevani chain of hospitals. Whatever is close to you, please do visit them. Dr. Ragini is here from Raipur. She's been also working on many others, such innovations and initiatives in research, where we are trying to do tissue transplant, and we have a bank there, a heart valve bank. We are going to set up a heart valve bank here too in Muddenahalli. So also we have Sanjeevani Research Foundation, which is working on DNA sequencing and finding the reasons for such congenital heart diseases. So we are doing everything and more to find better ways of solving this problem, and we need everybody in it so that we can do it faster and we can achieve it faster than what we have set out to achieve. Again, thanking the entire faculty of the institute, of the hospital, of the university, and all the ashram people who have supported this initiative. I'm looking forward to visiting the wet lab session tomorrow in the afternoon. And I hope that will help a lot of young budding people who are training to be good surgeons, that they will also learn and do this well. And hopefully by next year, when we meet here again for this conference, we would have inaugurated our integrated DNB program in CTVS and pediatric cardiac surgery. And that would be the feather in the cap of our institutions. That will be a real achievement. So thank you once again. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Sadguru, for your blessings and benediction.
For safekeeping, not awarding it, safekeeping to Dr. Hiremat, so that whenever we've identified the right candidate, we will request you to come again to hand over this medal.
We will conclude this session with the national anthem. Once again, thank you everyone for your presence and this very beautiful evening. Thank you very much.